Oh, it's on. All right. Hey, so welcome back. Let's talk blades. That's what we're into. I'm in for another knife. I told you guys in my last video that I had a couple of knives coming to me that were birthday presents. This is one of them, and I am very pleased to have this in my collection now. And you all know I was a little bit sketchy about getting the PM2, and you guys saw the story of my PM2, and I have it right here. Here it is. Good old Spyderco flagship, the Paramilitary 2, in all of its glory. This is the CPM S30V. It's crucible steel. I told you guys how much I like this, right? Well, now you guys are going to understand why I have this one. So let's get into it. Let's talk blades. That's what we're into. We are going to go ahead and do an unboxing. Let's chow down, shall we? So, my thing is, when you're a Spyderco fanboy like I am, you're going to want one of these. That is, if you are a fan of... That's if you're a fan of the Spyderco. Put those off to the side right there. And here we are. This is the knife that opened up its predecessor for the moment. So I will set that off to the side. Because we all know and love this one. It's got a couple of smears on it from, my hands. Sorry about that. And of course, it's just one of those things. I normally find this now in my EDC. This normally hits my pocket more often than not. And when I saw this one, I wanted to get it, but I didn't have enough dough to get it. But I had a little bit of a lucky break thanks to a family member, and I have that family member to thank. So this is going to be a new knife for me, but in the same liking as that one right there. So, without further ado, this is the Paramilitary 2, and if you can see that, that's Maxamet steel. Oh yeah, that's nice. All right, so there's the knife. We're going to set that off to the side for a moment. I want to go ahead and let you guys understand that Maxamet steel is not a particular steel that you would find on any knife, because not a lot of knife companies want to touch it. All right, it says the knife in this box is high carbon, high performance blade and components that are not rust resistant. It requires proper and diligent maintenance to keep it corrosion free, whether you use the knife or not. It should be protected from exposure to moisture, skin oils, and acidic acids, citrus fruit, etc. Clean and wipe the entire blade surface regularly with a light coat of oil, silicone, or similar high-quality protective lubricant. Spyderco is not responsible for the development of corrosion or pitting on a high-carbon blade or components. With that being said, excuse me, I'm a little tired. With that being said, this is a very interesting... If you want to pause this to read it, you can. Just to let you know, not a lot of knife companies will touch Maxamet steel, because Maxamet steel it's a very difficult tool steel to work with, but it's a very tough tool steel. And with that being said, you have to understand that a lot of care goes into that, and I do take very good care of my knives. I just have that part of me that's just always keen on that. So here it is. Huh. That's interesting. You never see this in a Spyderco bag. Spyderco box, excuse me. Interesting. Huh. I think I might just keep that. I don't know if that's going to help if I ever have to put this back in some kind of storage. So here it is. This is the gray G10 handle scales. So it's very far-fetched from the black for obvious reasons. And I gotta be honest with you, this one feels like it weighs just a little bit more than your average paramilitary. Just a little bit, not by too much. And of course, I'm going to replace this pocket clip with a pocket clip very similar to this one right here, deep carry, and I'm going to put it right here. I'm just used to that carrying configuration, especially with the size of this knife. I just find that a little bit easier for me. So I figure why not? And I have it set off to the side. I will go ahead and do that for you guys in front of you guys if that's what you guys want to see. Otherwise, I'll do it in front of you guys. Why not? I just gotta bust out the tool real quick, so it's gonna be a minute. But I'm gonna do it in real time, so why not? This right here. Oh yeah, Maxamet steel is okay. So you guys know the factories that make steel have these big rollers that roll out the hot steel. And those rollers are made of Maxamet steel. At least that's what I've been told. Maxamet steel is supposed to be a much harder, more resilient steel in order to handle the regular steels. So that being said, it's supposed to keep an edge very well. But of course, the corrosion resistance is not there. So there's going to be times when this is going to rust. So taking care of it is going to be something that I'm going to have to be on top of. So with that, I think would be a great experience with this knife anyways, but it's a really, really interesting knife. If you're looking for a knife like this, if you want this knife, I got it on Amazon for, I think it's like $207. So yeah, I didn't have enough money, but thanks to a family member, they made that help just a little bit more, so it's not as expensive for me. And I have that person to thank and be very thankful for, because this is a knife that I have actually wanted back when it first came out. And when it first came out, I couldn't find it. It was sold out. So when I saw this, I really wanted it, but I was like, nope, don't have enough. And I did eventually. It's one thing when you spend $100 on a knife, and that's already steep enough as it is. But when you spend $200 on a knife, people think you're crazy. But there are people out there with Chris Reeves knives, and those things are $300 to $500. And I think that's kind of just being nice. I think that they're worth a lot more than that. So, without further ado, let's open it up for the first time. All right, that's actually really smooth. To be honest with you. Really smooth, like a lot smoother than the paramilitary that I have right here. I don't know why that is, but it is. So I'm not too afraid of the edge being a little bit, used on this, because it's meant to be used. Now, the only thing that I'm worried about, obviously, is sharpening. This thing is going to be a pain in the derriere to sharpen. And because it's Maxamet steel, someone said that I need like some sort of diamond stone equivalent to in order to sharpen this knife. I don't know if my work sharp is going to, or my angle sharpener for Spyderco is going to sharpen this. I might be on it forever in order to get this back to razor sharp. But with the way that I carry knives and the way that I use EDCs, this one will probably last me a very long time before I can even see any use on any type of grinder or stone to resharpen this. So with that, I think that's going to be good. I'm not a huge fan of gray, but this actually looks nice. This looks different, I'm actually very, very happy that I was actually able to get my hands on one of these. So Plus, I think there was only like 4 left in stock or something like that. Something to that effect. So let's go ahead and we'll do some comparisons here. So shabing, we'll go ahead and it's the same knife. It's just different materials, different colored G10 handle scales, and different steel. So you got the CPM S30V crucible steel right here, and then of course you have the Maxamet, which by far is probably the strongest tool steel I have in my entire knife collection, aside from Elmax. I have yet to find a knife in L6 bayonet, but I think that's only meant for my Oni. So, anyways, still pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and we'll go into the specs of this because I want to see if this knife does weigh a little bit more. It actually felt like it did, so I kind of want to test that theory. So I figure why not bust out the scale. I'd be surprised, but you know, certain steels kind of weigh more or less than others, so it would just be good to check that out. So I'm going to go ahead and close these so I don't cut myself or injure the blade in any way. So here's the original PM2, which I'm going to wipe down and throw a string on and put it away for now. So this is a 3.76 ounces. So let's see if this makes a difference here. 3.90. Okay, so yeah. And yeah, I know before you guys start to point it out, this right here is titanium deep carry pocket clip. This is the regular steel pocket clip. So that might differ in the weight. It might differ in the weight because titanium is much lighter and thinner. This is going to be a little bit more. So that might make a difference, it might not. I'm not entirely sure. But this one does weigh a little bit more. So I was right about that. That's still pretty neat. Let's keep going. Obviously, we all know the size. I don't know why, but I love the PM2. And I never thought that I would ever care much for a PM2, but I do. So we are looking at 3.5 inches cutting edge, 3.5 inch cutting edge, 3 1/8 actually for cutting edge. Excuse me. The blade is about 3.5, and that's I'm including that choil, choke up type area. So we are going to go into the actual length. That is 1/8 and 1/4 inches. Yep, same length. And of course, we'll go ahead and show off the milling on the inside of the handle scales, which is a little bit right there. You can kind of see it right there and right there, just for a little bit of weight reduction, and it's right there. But of course, you got the compression lock, so there's going to be no milling in that area for obvious reasons. But you do have a little bit of milling right there, and 2 spots right there and there. So yeah, not bad. Not bad. Of course, every time I use a knife, I always tend to wipe it down, so that'll help out a lot. That's just how I am. I'm kind of a neat freak like that. Anytime that I get done cutting anything, no matter what it is, whether I'm cutting tape in a package or a box, or if I'm cutting into anything, the last thing that I do before I close my knife would be to wipe down the knife. Even if I'm just, busting it out, pulling it open for the first time, I wipe it down. So with this being said, you can already kind of see you can see that? And this is a stone wash finish on here, which I think is very fitting for the steel, because if this was a mirror polish, it would probably make no difference, because this thing is going to rust. When it, is going to rust, it's going to rust. But I don't have to worry about the edge too much on this knife, because it will keep a very, very resilient edge for a while before it needs any type of sharpening. And by then, I hope I have something that will actually sharpen this Maxamet steel, because it's going to be a pain. And of course, we'll go ahead and get into the calipers and see how wide it is, because it's the same thing. I'm just running through it again for you guys. So you're looking at a 12.2 at the handle, and at the blade you're looking at a 2.9 millimeters. So all in all, it's the same PM2, just in tougher steel. and a lighter color G10. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and switch out the pocket clip, so if you bear with me, I'm going to get the pocket clip real quick and a tool in order to get that started. So, uno momento. So here it is. That's the pocket clip. Amazon purchased. This was $9 and change. You can find it on there. It's deep carry pocket clip, titanium for Spyderco knives. It looks just like this. All right. And of course, the tool that makes all dreams a reality. Not really. I was just kidding about that. It doesn't make dreams a reality. Especially I have to spend money in order to get it, right? So we'll go ahead and we will customize my pocket clip to its rightful spot where I believe it should be. Now, the one thing that I have to mention, though, you got to make sure you get the right pocket clip. Not all pocket clips that say Spyderco fit all Spydercos. And I'm sure you guys know that, but not a lot of people do. I have a buddy of mine who bought the wrong pocket clip thinking that it was going to fit any and every Spyderco. That is not true. So be sure that you get the model numbers right, or at least make sure that it's the right pocket clip for the right knife, at the very least. Now, it's not going to cost you much, but it will be something that you have to keep in mind so you don't have to keep doing all the running around, just in case so you don't have to make a mistake one or too many other times before you get it right. I've never had that problem. I'm just extra cautious like that. But one thing that I did end up coming across, I came across a Spyderco pocket clip that I really wanted. I purchased it, and it took a month to get to me. Now, whether or not it was being forged by elves in the high mountains of Hrothgard before they could FedEx the damn thing to me, or if it was just somebody who was really lazy at their job and did not want to have to deal with anybody and felt that he could do it on his own schedule, well then, whatever. Either way, I think it's very important and fitting to have a deep carry pocket clip on a very expensive knife. It just gives you that much more security or sense of security, because then you'll know for sure. Really? You see that? That is not how that's supposed to be. Well, that's disappointing. I don't know how I'm going to have to bend that down. Alrighty then. Well, that is really disappointing. Come on, guys. What the heck are you guys doing at that factory? The fact that I have to bend this down to make it fit, I think, is ridiculous. Look at that. See that? Oh, that's not very right. Well, I don't want to make this video that much longer, so I'm going to have to fix this and make it right. That's embarrassing. Well, no wonder these things are so cheap. I wonder if it actually is titanium. I think it is. I don't know. I'll go ahead and do that. Seriously? Well, I don't want to use this original pocket clip. I'd rather just keep it off. Now, if there's any type of consolation here, look at this. You see something wrong here? This pocket clip does not look like this pocket clip, but this pocket clip literally didn't even need any it doesn't have any problems. This one does. Oh, China. Oh, China. Why are you so freaking China? Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. If you like this video, stab that like button, slash that subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Oh, stay tuned. I believe I will be getting another goodie tomorrow, so I will be posting a new video of that once it comes in. Probably another unboxing, so stay tuned for that. By then, this pocket clip should be on this knife, and I will be carrying this knife. Till then, I'll see you guys in the next one.